One of the advantages recently of delving into some of the history of our missionary people, our missionaries, and that story is to learn something about the history of that and reflect on it in my own time now. You're with Mission Alive. This is Roger from the MSC Mission Office. When Father Navarre and his companions were roaming around in the Dutch East Indies, which is now Indonesia, and Manila and the Philippines and those places, they didn't have telephones or internet or anything of that nature. They couldn't go online and find out where ships were going from or coming from, or going to where. They have to pull into a port, go see the port master and ask questions, and he might say, oh, there's a ship coming in, it's supposed to be going to such and such, it'll be 3 weeks from today or something. So it was a very long drawn out process. And then when they came to a crisis, and the leader of the team at that time, he decided we go back to France. Father Navarre and some other the brothers said, no, we don't, we continue, so they split up. So letters were written, and this leader of the team, he took them back to France. And so for a reply to come took about 6 months. So they had to just wait. And this was the way things were, and we can reflect today that we have things like this, a webcast. We have mobile phones. All these things, telephones, makes communication so much easier. And yet we still manage to complain about just about everything. And the travel, as they came out by boat, and then for many years afterwards had to rely on boats for supplies, boats for personnel to move, and so forth. And we had come to expect we could jump on a plane anytime we wanted to and go almost anywhere in the world that we wanted to. Well, now we can't, and it's a difficulty for us, so this is our times. I just want to tell perhaps a few stories about some of the things that happened in the past there, and I hope I'm not repeating too much. The first bishops at Yule Island and the Papuan region, whatever vicariate that was at the time, were André Navarre, Henry Verrius, Alain de Beaumanoux, and André Saurin, which takes us up in about the 1950s. And then for new bishops to be made to take over vicariates, again the communication was long and difficult. One little story in there was Father André Navarre was made a bishop in the vicariate, and I think his health was not good, so it was decided he needed an auxiliary. So one of the priests that was there, Louis Coupet, he was to be made that bishop, and Father Henry Verrius was to be made bishop and sent over to New Pomerania, which is now Rabaul, around Rabaul. But for some reason I've just forgotten what it is at the moment. It might have been the health of Navarre or someone. Rome changed its mind. So on the same day, their roles were reversed. So Coupet was made apostolic vicar of New Pomerania, and Henry Verrius was made vicar of, I think it was the vicariate of New Guinea. And they were in those roles for only about 6 months, and then they changed. And so history goes on from there. But they're all sort of famous men. Both Coupet was down here at this monastery at Kensington for some time. He came to learn English, and he was fairly well qualified from his seminary days, so he began teaching the students here, and they wanted to hold him here on staff, full time, to become a lecturer here at this new seminary. But anyway, he went to Yule Island, and this change, become a bishop and then changed over, so he went to New Pomerania and was bishop there for many, many years, and was quite famous. So these were some of the stories about that, and these were their times. and they had to live with the limitations and difficulties of their time. And we too, we live in our time, and our time is particular at the moment with this pandemic, and that's the time that we live in. And that is the time too when we are on mission, whatever that turns out to be. So we persist in our mission, as these men persisted in all the difficulties of their time and the restrictions of their time. So we persist today, and we continue to proclaim the good news to all people. Thank you.